in this search.
And the radar quiet right now, but storms are back in the forecast. We'll talk about what you can expect for your Friday forecast coming up.
Plus, LCG reminding residents in Lafayette that you can report any damages to the city through a new web portal. Important to know during intense weather season. We'll tell you all about it. And it's never too early to light up the grill. Al Abair is live from the station this morning for Friday Feed. You don't want to miss that and so much more this morning on News 15 Today.
From Fox 15, News 15 Today starts now.
Good Friday morning. You're watching News 15 Today. I'm Carter Simino. Alex Horsdale is on a much-needed vacation. Thanks for tuning in this morning. Here's what's happening this morning. Starting in St. Landrew Parish, Opelousas police are searching for James Thompson, wanted on multiple warrants. Thompson is facing various charges for theft, as well as drug paraphernalia and drug possession. Police say Thompson was involved in two separate incidents, each involving theft related to catalytic converters. During the second incident, Thompson was stopped for a license plate violation where officers found multiple illegal items in his possession. Thompson fled the scene before police could take him into custody. Opelousas police also need help identifying a person wanted for illegally shooting a gun near a local business in the 600 block of South Railroad Avenue. Officers say an employee called to report a verbal disagreement with a customer on June 26th. After the argument, the customer left the store and fired several rounds from a handgun. Opelousas police urge anyone with any information related to the whereabouts of James Thompson or the identity of the person involved in the store altercation and firearm discharge to contact the Opelousas Police Department or Crime Stoppers at 337-948-TIPS, where you can remain anonymous. And speaking of Crime Stoppers, a recent tip led to a drug and weapons arrest in St. Landrew Parish. An investigation into a tip about alleged drug sales led to the arrest of Andre Guidry Sr. Sheriff Bobby Guidro says Guidry is a major supplier of illegal drugs throughout the parish. He's facing a number of charges, including possession with intent to distribute methamphetamine and marijuana. Turning to Acadia Parish, where the sheriff's office actively investigates a murder-suicide that left two people dead. Around 11 Wednesday morning, deputies found the bodies of a man and woman inside of a car that was in a ditch. The discovery was made on McCain Road near Goodrich Road, just outside of Crowley. Investigators say the female was driving when the man shot her and then turned the gun on himself. This investigation is ongoing. A Lafayette man is sentenced to multiple years behind bars for leading multiple law enforcement agencies on a high-speed chase across 3 parishes last summer. 29-year-old Joshua Damon was sentenced in federal court to serve nearly 6.5 years in prison. He pleaded guilty in March to being a felon in possession of a firearm. He led cops on the chase from Lafayette to Jefferson Davis Parish after a disturbance at his girlfriend's house here in Lafayette in June of last year. The pursuit ended when 2 truckers blocked the westbound lanes of I-10 to stop traffic. The public's help is needed in locating 19-year-old Morris Williams of Kinder. He was last seen around 4:30 Wednesday morning on Highway 383 near Village Cemetery Road in Kinder. New information reveals Williams suffers from a medical condition that may impair his judgment. Anyone with info on his whereabouts is asked to call police. Well, let's now get you out the door and get a check on the forecast with Storm Track 15 meteorologist Corey Smith. Corey, it's looking nice out there right now.
Yeah, really not bad. We're seeing sunshine, temperatures, and humidity, on par for this time of year. We're sitting in the upper 70s, right around 80 degrees this morning here, I-10, I-49. In fact, now up to 81 here in Lafayette. Winds out of the west or southwest at 7 miles per hour. The radar is quiet right now, but around midday and into the afternoon, we are expecting some rain as a cold front starts to slide into the area. It's going to bring some scattered to widespread rain not only today, but throughout the next 4 to 5 days. So we'll let you know what you need to know with that system. But let's take a look at the afternoon forecast out in Eunice. Looking like we could see some wet weather here. Scattered showers and storms, temperatures in the upper 80s. We do cool off a little bit with that rain. We'll have details on that. And also now Hurricane Elsa, the first hurricane in the Atlantic of the season, where it's heading, coming up.
All right, thank you very much, Corey. We'll be checking back with you for further updates on Elsa and this weekend's weather. Well, in case you missed it, at last night's Scott City Council meeting, the council voted unanimously to adopt the Lafayette Parish-wide flood mitigation plan. The plan aims to find solutions to reduce or eliminate the impact of natural disasters on property and people. News 15 spoke to a local businessman in the area to get his take on drainage in the Boudin capital.
It's got nowhere to go. There's so much rainfall, and the activity of the water around here is insane. It's constantly raining. I can go half a mile from here where it's not raining at all. And for some reason, it feels like it's raining here all the time and everything drains this way.
Well, the plan must be updated every 5 years for the parish to receive federal funding for drainage projects, storm shelters, as well as other miscellaneous projects. A reminder that all Lafayette residents can report drainage issues or other service requests on the 311 Lafayette web portal. This is LCG's latest tool to help citizens connect with government services. For a list of services you can request or to request them, go to 311lafayette.services. Well, after 15 months, the Lafayette Housing Authority opened its doors for in-person services. It's been an especially tough year for public housing residents who often have to communicate their housing problems via phone, mail, or through a window. After a time away, LHA officials and residents alike are now ready to get back to normal.
Our residents have suffered for the last 15 months, and it's very important that they see us face to face and be able to explain what the issues are.
We'd be to bring attention back to our activities for sure, and visiting our residents, taking care of them.
To learn more about the Lafayette Housing Authority and the services they offer, head to thelha.com. Governor John Bel Edwards is celebrating the 5-year anniversary of Medicaid expansion. More than 600,000 citizens are benefiting from access to quality health care that many otherwise have never been able to afford. This expansion changed the landscape for vulnerable communities in the healthcare sector and is providing a critical safety net during the ongoing global COVID-19 pandemic.
Lives have been saved. Our rural hospitals have remained open. Jobs have been preserved. And since 2016, our adult uninsured rate has dropped by more than half to 11%, which is much lower than the national rate of 15.6%. It has been a win-win for our people and our state.
Governor Edwards first adopted Medicaid expansion in 2016 as his first official act as governor, making Louisiana the first state in the Deep South to participate. Well, to catch up on continued coverage of the latest news around Acadiana and the state, visit our website, kadn.com.
Heading into the afternoon, we're tracking the chance of some showers and storms. We'll talk more about what you can expect there and for your 4th of July weekend coming up. Stay tuned.
And we're checking in with Al Abear. He's right outside with the owner of JB's Cruising Cuisine. Checking in with him to see what's cooking for Friday Feed next.
Okay, cool, thanks.
Well, that music means it's Friday here at News 15 today, and time for the Friday feed. Today we have the owner of JB's Cruisin' Cuisine in our parking lot with Al Hebert cooking up some barbecue for the 4th of July weekend.
Talk about where we are.
Let's see how it's going. Al.
Wow, those things are juicy. Oh, wow, look at these juicy hamburgers. Can you get a shot of that, John? That's amazing. How long have these been on the grill?
At least about 20 minutes now.
Man, I can see the juice coming out of them. What is the secret?
Water.
Water.
It is.
I mean, that's almost too easy. So you just poke a hole in a bottle of water and just keep it moist that way.
Yeah.
There it is. Listen to the sizzle. Oh, that's fantastic. So where'd you get the idea for the water, or did you know somebody who did that?
Well, it's a little secret
Okay.
in our part of town. Just trying things, I guess, just keep it going, I guess. I seen somebody do it, so I have to say this. I seen somebody do it, and I've been doing it ever since.
So now when I look at this, that chicken skin looks very crispy.
Yes, sir. That's from the moist too, keeping it moist.
Wow. I mean, that looks amazing. And so how do you know your chicken's ready? Because I stick thermometers. It looks like, oh gosh, it looks like a pincushion when I'm finished. How do you know?
Flip the meat upside down.
Uh-huh.
If water doesn't come out of it, that means it's done.
Wow, that's almost too simple. So you essentially poke a little hole in it, right?
That's it. I just did. Yes, sir. And just flip it over and see if the water come out of it.
And that's, that's almost too simple. It works very good like this. And this is cooked everything's cooked at about 200, is that correct?
Yes, sir. 200 degrees.
Okay, guys. Hey, look, we're gonna get this off the pit. Coming up in the last segment, we're gonna review what we did this morning on the Friday feed. We're gonna go back to you in the studio. More News 15 today.
I'm ready to chow down in our next half hour. Al, we'll check back with you then. Well, it's a pretty pleasant start to the day. Good for barbecuing in the morning. But Storm Track 15 meteorologist Corey Smith is tracking afternoon rain chances in your forecast. It's 8:12 on your Friday morning.
Always tracking, always alerting. Here's your Storm Track 15 weather.
Welcome back. Well, we've had some somewhat drier weather recently, but as you can see on your screen, it looks like more rain is expected in the forecast to start our 4th of July weekend. Corey, what can we expect for today and going into the weekend?
That's right. And you know what? Lafayette must be the luckiest city in the world. We've been seeing some isolated showers and storms last few days. We've still picked up at least a trace of rain here. So that makes 12 days in a row that we've seen measurable rain. It looks like a couple more on the way. We could be in the top 3 longest stretches of seeing rain here on record. So just to kind of put in perspective how wet things have been. That continues this afternoon and into the evening. Temperature is getting on the warm side before a cold front moves in. So let's break down what you can expect for your Friday. As for the first half of the day, we should be dry, but by midday, seeing showers and storms start to form here. And this is that cold front we're talking about here, forming right around 1 to 2 o'clock around St. Leonard and Evangeline Parish. This is going to push to the south as you go throughout the afternoon, bringing the chance of scattered showers and storms. 4 p.m. moving through Lafayette, really along the I-10 corridor here, and as you go throughout the evening, still seeing the chance of scattered showers and storms throughout the rest of the day, even into the overnight hours, so something we'll have to keep an eye on there. As you go into Saturday, I think that's probably going to be one of the wetter days of the week. You can see as you go throughout the day, storms starting to fire up along the coast around 11 a.m., and I think they get a little bit further north area of I-10, but overall it is going to be a wet day once again. That continues into your Sunday as this boundary just really sits around here as you go throughout the next 4 to 5 days. Let's actually break that down here on Futurecast. You'll see the cold front moving in today. This just sits here through Monday, Tuesday, even into portions of Wednesday. So with that, really every single day around the afternoon, bet that there's some shower and storm activity nearby here once again. And we're going to have to keep an eye around Sunday here for what's going on in the tropics. That's going to have a pretty big part of what our forecast might be as you head into next week. But right now, just dealing with those thunderstorms going forward. Talking about the rainfall that we're expecting, around 1 to 2 inches of rain right now is expected widespread, 4 to 6 in those locally higher amounts. That's where we could see some potential flash flooding as you go throughout the next 4 days. As for the weekend here, looking pretty wet. I think Saturday probably one of our wetter days here. Sunday looking a little bit better right now. We'll have to wait and see over the next few days how that forecast kind of evolves here, but I know a lot of outdoor activities, so hopefully we end up a little bit on the drier side. Also talk about the tropics as well. Hurricane Elsa formed this morning, wind speeds of 75 miles per hour. It's moving to the west-northwest at 28 miles per hour. It's actually one of the fastest moving storms in this part of the ocean ever. So it is absolutely booking it. And we'll be tracking this, potentially some impacts here for the Gulf of Mexico as we head into next week. But for now, 7-day forecast, all about that rain. That moves in this afternoon and the evening, giving us a chance of afternoon storms. Tomorrow looking on the wet side, and that continues as we go into next week.
All right, looking good, Corey. Well, not really good. I'd like it to rain a little bit less, but I appreciate your honesty and frontness.
At least it's a little here. We'll take that
as
our win, right?
We'll definitely take that. All right, we'll check back with you later. Let's now check in with Fox News' Doug Luzader for what's coming up.
Well, some big Supreme Court decisions right along ideological lines have some liberals once again calling for court packing. I'm Doug Luzader in Washington. We'll have more on the decisions and the repercussions just ahead.
Welcome back. There are some renewed calls this morning to expand the number of justices on the U.S. Supreme Court. Progressives are furious over a pair of decisions that just came down. And as Fox News correspondent Doug Luzader reports from Washington this morning, there's also growing pressure on one justice to retire.
No retirement announcements coming from the court, at least not yet, but there is another push now to pack the court with more liberal justices. The ink was still drying on the two most recent decisions from the Supreme Court yesterday when the rallying cry went out on Twitter from one member of Congress. Expand the expletive court, wrote New York's Mondaire Jones.
This is all about protecting the integrity of elections.
Arizona's Attorney General, though, celebrated one of the decisions that allows the state to ban ballot harvesting and require that votes are cast in the proper precinct. The other decision struck down California's requirement that nonprofits disclose the identities of large donors. Regarding voting rights, Democratic Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer wrote, "Today is one of the darkest days in all of the Supreme Court's history."
I plan on speaking extensively on voting rights.
President Biden's take was much more restrained, but the White House did respond to calls that liberal Justice Stephen Breyer retire now to ensure that his replacement is confirmed by a Senate controlled by Democrats. And the president has been clear about the specific qualification he's looking for.
He committed to nominate if there was an opening, and we do not know if there's an opening, and it is up to the justices to decide whether there will be an opening, to nominate an African-American woman to the Supreme Court.
But for all of the talk about a court divided along ideological lines, a surprising number of the decisions this term have been unanimous. In Washington, Doug Luzader, Fox News.
I think I would turn senators' attention to the Dred Scott decision. Well, moving on, former LSU sprinter Sha'Carri Richardson was set to compete at the Tokyo Olympics this month, but could miss this breakout opportunity. The full story coming up. And still to come, the hottest topic in college sports news has been the signing of the new Name, Image, and Likeness bill. Hear how current Raging Cajuns are taking advantage of it. Did y'all hear Schumer? Gotcha. He was saying how the Supreme Court ruling that the Arizona's law is one of the darkest, the Supreme Court ruling for it is one of the darkest days in Supreme Court history. I guess he forgot about the Dred Scott decision that said that African Americans, whether free or enslaved, were not counted as citizens and were not allowed to sue in court. Hyperbolic, evil people in Washington. Welcome back. Turning to sports news, the 2020 Olympics are just around the corner, and we have 4 athletes in Acadiana who made it through qualifying rounds and are now readying themselves to compete in Tokyo. News 15's Patsy Douglas caught up with some of these hopeful Olympians and has more on their journey.
Preparing for one of the most competitive moments of their lives.
Don't relax, Alexis. Don't touch.
Trampoline gymnast Nicole Ossinger and Aleski Showstock faced many obstacles as they waited for the opportunity to participate in the 2020 Olympic Games.
Well, because of COVID, it was really hard for me mentally to stay motivated. Thankfully, I had my athletes to help me, or like my teammates to help me continue to where we all want to go.
The belief in myself. You know, for me to be able to get here, I feel like I've had the right, the tools, the support system, and the coaching, and it was just overcoming that, the self-doubt that, you can't do this, and trying to, just believe in myself, really.
New Iberia native and UL alum Morgan Lola secured her spot in the 2021 Olympics after training for years.
The whole world shut down, because of COVID. So it allowed me to take some time, reflect, and really pinpoint anything that could help me towards the 2021 Olympics now. And that's when I changed my diet. I reached out to Prolific Fitness to help me with my diet. I reached out to a sports psychologist and just really try to, improve in every aspect of my sport and myself that I could.
Lila hopes she can be a role model for other Olympic hopefuls.
If you dream it and believe it, you can do it. It took me, like I said, 3 Olympic trials to get to this point, and sometimes I still cannot believe it, but I deserved it, and that's the main thing, is you have to believe in yourself that you deserve it and that you did everything you could to make it happen. And then from there, you got to let go and let life happen.
Well, a developing story in the world of Olympic sports this morning. U.S. track and field star Sha'Carri Richardson, a former runner at LSU, reportedly failed a drug test for marijuana. Reports say this discovery could cause Richardson to miss the Olympic Games in Tokyo. The news was confirmed by Cincinnati Enquirer reporter Tyler Dragon, as seen in a Twitter post. According to multiple sports sources, the fact that Richardson has not tested positive for a performance enhancement drug would lessen her penalty, but still could cause a 30-day suspension and disqualify her historical performance at the U.S. Olympic trials last month, where she won the 100-meter dash in 10.86 seconds. Her only post yesterday on Twitter read, quote, "I am human." Well, it's the off-season of opportunity now that athletes can hold camps, sign autographs for money, and cash in on appearance fees. Raging Cajuns Associate Director of Athletics Tom Burke says the school still can't pay students or arrange marketing deals, but there's still a window for athletes to help themselves.
And we are expecting some rain as we head into the afternoon. We'll talk more about that as well as Hurricane Elsa coming up.